Hello, welcome to the PD Podcast. I'm Paul DeBellis, your host, and today we've got a very special guest, Dino Gomez, to talk about the big elephant in the room. Everyone's talking about AI. Dino, welcome to the show.
Paul, thanks so much for having me here, bud. I'm excited to hang out and chat today.
I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you got a busy schedule, but let's dive right into it. What do you think will change in regard to AI moving forward?
Diving right in. There's some things I think it's easier for us to predict and others that we just don't know because of the speed at which AI is just evolving in itself. But AI will change the landscape of, I think, probably, if I had to give it a percentage, 95% of all industries will be affected by AI. We're already seeing healthcare being affected, and we're talking traditional industries. Healthcare industries are being affected by it. AI is diagnosing people based on their previous health conditions better than a doctor could through various just data and also looking at numbers and information from a patient's parents and previous lineage. I think AI is going to change almost every single industry out there. We have self-driving cars, and it will absolutely change your business in terms of marketing, systems, operations. And so, I think what we're going to see is something very similar to what we saw when the internet came out. It changed a ton of industries. It invented a lot of jobs. It rearranged how people were currently and previously doing their previous jobs as well. So I think it's just going to have a massive impact all across the board. And I'll be honest, for a while, I didn't like it. Like, I was resistant to it. Nobody likes change, right? We're like, no. I just figured out life right now, marketing right now, business right now. Why, and then all of a sudden, big disruption here. So I think a lot of us as business owners and or marketers, at first are resistant to it because it means a lot more work to figure it out. But ultimately, I think it's going to help everybody who adapts to it to do things more productively, get more work done, and I think it will certainly change business and marketing.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to replace a lot of jobs, but what traditional marketing platforms do you think are going to be left behind because of AI?
Great traditional marketing platforms. So I'm not sure that how many platforms will be replaced, more so the manner in which the utilization of the platforms. Like, I think AI, as an example, if you're not already using AI to do email marketing, and as an example, I think a lot of business owners on their to-do list, it's, I should do more email marketing, but I don't know what to say in my emails. I don't have time to write the emails. Gosh, I don't even know how to use the system to send out an email. Yet they have a client database of 500 or 1,000 customers in there that they could send an email to and produce sales, but they just don't have the time and know how to do it. Well, with AI, you could have a great email crafted and sent out in a matter of minutes. And so I'm not sure how much it will change various platforms. Even if we talk about like traditional media, radio, television, print, it should make all of those platforms that you're using, you should become a better business owner, a better marketer of your services, products, given that you know how to use AI properly. And so I think it's more going to speed up efficiency and quality of the marketing message that you have. And again, this is for the folks that decide, you know what, I want to learn it, I want to use it, I can't fight it anymore. Then I do think what has not, I haven't heard much about this yet, but I do think what we can expect to have happen is pretty soon there'll be AI intelligence that detects whether images, videos, written text, websites were developed and or created by AI, or whether they're actually like human creation. Because I know that's a big concern, is people saying, well, is this going to replace me completely? Do we still need humans in certain capacities? So it will. Yeah, I would say I don't think it's going to change. I don't think it's going to replace too many platforms, but I think it will change for sure many of the way that we use them.
Yeah, I definitely see a change. It's morphine, right? We see it it's constantly learning, growing, and we see a lot of the platforms out there that we didn't see before are integrating AI into their platform. So it's making it easier for all of us, especially in creating content. Now, I've used AI for probably 3 years on another platform before the craze went wild out there. Everyone's talking about Chat GPT and all these different software programs that are integrating the AI. And I think it's great for writing content. We still need the human touch. We still need to go ahead and edit. Obviously, it's not a one-click solution, but I think it's definitely beneficial. Where it's going to go, I think none of us really know where it's gonna be heading. But as a video producer and marketer, I still believe there's got to be that human touch, right? So, what's the next best thing for you being there? We can't be everywhere. So, video is obviously going to be the next big thing. It should be something that's part of everyone's marketing platform. But sadly, I don't see it as predominant as it should be. So I encourage that obviously with my students to make sure they use video to reach out to people, to follow up with people. And so I think it's just a marriage that's taking place now with AI. And I think it's helping everyone. And as long as we got control over it, I believe it's fine. It's not going to hurt anybody. Where it's headed, we don't know.
Yep.
It's-
It's has its own brain. So, and I think what you said there, Paul, is spot on in that it's we don't know for sure where it's headed. We know it's getting infinitely smarter by the day. Video, I agree, is going to be more important than ever because I think it's easier right now, at least at the recording of this podcast, easier right now to use AI to come up with written content, whether it's social media content, a LinkedIn post, an article, a blog post, an email. I think even as a basic user, you understand how to use ChatGPT to do those types of things. And so that makes video more important because of the level of authenticity. We can actually see, hey, there's two people here. Humans will always have that affinity for other humans over robots, at least at this point in time. And so I do agree. I think video is going to become more important. And on that same note, I think live interactions like this are going to be more important, which is whether that's live podcasting, whether that's workshops, whether that's in-person events. And that goes back to the affinity of people preferring human interaction. We are a social creature. And so I think that's a huge opportunity for anyone that wants a leg up on their competition. Ask yourself, what is the medium for me to connect live with my customers or my audience? Because you're gonna build that affinity, those relationships, the human connection that a lot of people are gonna say, I don't have time to do. And I think that would be a huge mistake to say, I don't have time to connect in person anymore.
I always tell my clients, I say, look, there's many pieces to the marketing puzzle. But what I find more often than not is that many pieces are missing. And they wonder why there's no conversion rates taking place in their marketing. So I say, let me just take a look at it. Let me analyze what you've got going on and find out where those gaps are and fill those gaps with the marketing pieces that you need to obviously have a full-blown, fine-oiled marketing machine. And it makes a marketing masterpiece when you have all of it working together in synergy. And so going forward, what is the one thing that small business owners can do right now to position themselves for success?
One, I would say start playing with AI a little bit more. Even if you're at that point where you're like, I don't like it, I don't understand it. And even if you're not a fan of it, you might even be afraid of it in some capacity. Ultimately, if we look at history, there's always a period where people are resistant to adopting the technology, whether it's the airplane, whether it's going back to World War I, that was kind of the first big war where a machine gun was invented, and that changed war forever. That's where the catchphrase trench warfare came out. Suddenly, one side had a massive unfair advantage because they had a machine gun versus what the guys were using on the other side. And ever since, we look at technological wars. Now wars are being fought with drones. So you can fight the technology, but if you don't utilize it, the competition has a massive leg up. And so I can even go back to personal examples. I've always been a big Facebook user, and I didn't like it when Instagram came out. So I resisted Instagram for a few years. If I had not resisted Instagram for 2 years, I could have been one of the first or earlier groups and waves of users, and my following would be much bigger there. And now it's harder to grow on Instagram for anybody that's just picking Instagram up. Much harder to grow there because you waited so long. And so although it's a natural tendency for us to be resistant to some type of new technology or any type of change, you put yourself at a big, I feel like, disadvantage by not being open-minded to playing with it. So I would say to small business owners, number one, start playing with ChatGPT for starters. Start watching some YouTube videos and listening to your podcasts and different things to just understand what it's capable of. Start researching, and you can even go to ChatGPT and ask it directly, how can I use AI inside of my industry? So if you're a dentist, how can I use AI to better market my business as a dentist? It will tell you. It knows its own brain. It knows its own intelligence. It will literally tell the dentist back to them, here's what I could do for you to make it simple. I could write a 15 email nurturing sequence for you that you can plug into your CRM so that after a new patient comes in, after you receive a very first phone call from a prospect, they're nurtured until they book their first consult. You can ask it, it will tell you, but I would say start playing with it, number one, and start asking it questions, and then and even ask it goofy questions. That's one of the things I've told clients to do, that my clients have always been split. We have the early adopters who are like, this is the coolest thing ever, and others that are a little bit old-fashioned. They're like, I don't like this quite yet. And to those who are like, I don't like it quite yet, because I was in that boat as well, what I told them to do is play with it, ask it some business-related questions, but ask it some goofy, fun questions as well. And it can kind of lighten the mood in terms of how intelligent this is. But at this point in time, even if you go to Google and you search something, best pizza spot nearby, how to lose weight in your 40s, whatever it is, the top search result now in Google is AI-generated content. We all see that regardless of what you're searching for. So it is now becoming widely adopted, and so I would just say don't be the last person to the party is what I would say there.
Yeah, I think the bottom line here is that there's so many different marketing tools out there, is that don't be shy, people. Go ahead and investigate it. Check it out. Play with it. See what it's like. See if it's going to be something that you can utilize to advance your business to the next level. And I think that's really the purpose of these tools out there. You're not going to use every single tool out there. Let's face it. None of us do. But find out who your target market is. See how these tools can interact with one another to help market your business and reach the masses with it. Because that's the bottom line, is we want more eyeballs on our businesses, because the more eyeballs and the people that see what we do, and they want to know who you are. People want to do business who they know, like, and trust, right? And so how are we going to do that? Put yourself out there. Go ahead and utilize these tools. But just like the carpenter, if you don't swing the hammer, the house isn't going to get built. I can give you all the tools there are out there right now, and there's plenty of them out there. But if you don't swing the hammer, the house isn't going to get built. If you don't use these tools, your marketing business isn't going to be built. So I think that's the bottom line, is that just check everything out. Play around with it. Don't go live until you really know what you're doing. And then you'll see that your business will start to soar. It's an amazing world we live in. As you know, we both have been on this marketing journey for a long time, and we've seen a lot of change, and it's rapidly changing now. So I really appreciate you being able to come on and talk about AI, to really open our eyes to a little bit more what's going on, where we're headed with AI. And I always appreciate you having on, and I'll have you on again. I thank you so much. Dino, you have a blessed day, and I will see you guys on the inside.
Thanks so much, Paul. This was a ton of fun.